This is Ivanka teacher, and today in our maths lesson we are going to learn about fractions. So what are we going to learn about? Tell me. Fractions. So these are fractions. You have studied this lesson in your basic, in your grade 1. So in your basic lessons also, in your earlier lessons also, you all have studied this. But now today we are going to learn more about fractions. Understand? Okay. So I will give you a small introduction. I will introduce you first. Okay. What are fractions? A fraction represents part of a whole. Okay, it represents a part of a whole when something is broken up into a number of parts. See, when something is broken up into a number of parts, Pute, the fraction shows how many those parts you have. So I will give you a beautiful example after all. Let's read it again. Okay, a fraction represents part of a whole, and when something is broken up into a number of parts, the fraction shows how many of those parts you have. Okay, now here comes the interesting part. Okay, you all love to eat pizza, isn't it? Teacher, of course, loves to eat pizza. So now see, your father is bringing you a pizza, a very big pizza. So now suppose, see how many pieces you can see in your pizza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically, there are 8 pieces in a pizza, no Pute. So, tell me how many pieces you are going to eat from that. I will of course eat all. Okay, so some will say they are going to eat 2 pieces. Some will say they are going to eat 1 piece. Isn't it? So, I will of course eat all. So which means we are going to represent the number that we are going to eat with the help of a fraction. Understand? So this is a whole. See, we say it's a whole pizza. Now see, you have to assume this part is also there. Understand? So there are 8 pieces in this pizza. Okay? So how much you are going to eat? We are going to represent it in a fraction. Understand? So let's do it. Okay? Now I said I'm going to eat. I said I'm going to eat all the parts. I said I like to eat pizza. So I'm going to eat all of these. So tell me, how many pieces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So here is 8. Okay, and then how many parts am I going to eat? I said I'm going to eat 8. So which means this is a whole number, Pute. Understand? This is a whole number. Now some will say they are going to eat only 1 part because she doesn't like to eat pizza. Okay, so then here it comes like this, 8, and then she is going to eat only 1 part. So what do you call this? It's a fraction. Understand? This is a fraction. Tell with me, what is this? It's a fraction. Right, very good. So, moving on to the next slide, Pute, let's see. Still you must be wondering what is a fraction. So, what is a fraction? Okay, this is, I'm explaining again for those who didn't understand. Okay, and nicely listen to me. A fraction is a part of a whole, which means it's a part of a whole. Now think about the pizza that we were eating little while ago. Okay, so we ate 1 piece out of 8 slices, which means what is that? It's a part of a whole. It's a part of a whole. 1 out of 8. Okay, and then there's another one. There is another way. Okay, it can be a part of a set of objects or a group of objects. It can be a part of a whole, or it can be a part of a set of objects. Understand? We are speaking about 2 things here. What are they? A fraction can be a part of a whole, which means 1 out of 8. You know, we studied it earlier, right? Like that. Or it can be a part of a group of objects, which means a set of objects. Okay, so let's go to the examples one by one. First we are going to learn about these two. Understand? Part of a whole and part of a set of objects. Okay, okay, let's go to the other slide. Now I will explain you one by one. Now what is this? Tell me what is this? I know you love to eat this, and some will say they like to drink it as a juice. Okay, now this is what children tell me? Watermelon, isn't it? Right. So this is the whole. See, we have watermelon here. It's like a spear, isn't it? So this is the whole. We say the full watermelon is there, the whole number. Okay, and then if you want to eat it, how you are going to eat it? Tell me. Are you going to just take it and grab it and eat? No, we have to cut it into pieces, isn't it? So we tend to cut it into equal pieces, isn't it? So like see, equal pieces like this, and then you distribute among your family members or your friends. So this is a whole, okay, and then this is a part of it. That's what you call a part of a whole. Now did you understand? See, we have a watermelon. We are not just going to grab it and eat from our mouth. We have to cut it into equal pieces. Okay, that's what you call manners. We cut it into equal pieces and then we give the others one by one, isn't it? So put a whole and this is a part. Okay, and then look at this. Now every day we can't study like this, no, we have to go to the other side also, isn't it? We have to represent it in a fraction, in a diagram. So this is how it looks like. See, this is a whole now. Okay, this is a whole. Now we say, see, half. You can see now this whole is divided. This whole is cut into two parts. So there are how many parts? You tell me now in this. There are two parts. If I eat one, it becomes like this. Okay? It's half now. Okay? It's half. Now see this side. This one is cut into 4 pieces. See? Have 4. That means if I eat this side, what will happen? Okay? 1 out of 4. See, one watermelon is divided into 2 equal parts. See, this watermelon is divided into 2 equal parts. So one part is half. We say half. Okay, and then this watermelon is divided into 4 equal parts. So if we eat one part, we say 1/4. Okay, did you understand? This is a part of a whole. The whole number, and this is a part. So this one is divided into 2 parts. If we eat one, we say half. Okay, and then this one is divided into 4. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I eat this, it's 1/4. Okay, right. Now let's move on to the other one. Now we studied, now from these two, now look at this slide again. I said we are going to study 2 things, part of a whole and part of a set of objects. So from these two, we have studied this one. Part of a whole we have studied, isn't it? Right. Now let's go to parts of a group. Now the second point, parts of a group. Now see, now who are they? They are people. Tell me how many people are there? Count and tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. How many people are there, children? There are 5 people. So these two, out of these 5 people, these 2 are very naughty. Like my children, isn't it? They are very naughty. So we say, how do we convert it into a fraction? That is what you call part of a group. Now see, there is a group of people, a bunch of people. So from that, if we are trying to clarify something, if we are trying to group a part of it, we say it as a part of a group. That is also a fraction. See, out of these 5 people, 2 are very naughty, isn't it? So we say we describe it like this. See, we describe it like this, 2 over 5. Okay, we describe it like this. See, now look at this picture. Fractions of a group. See, there are 1, 2. Now count with me. Now it's the time to count. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So, in this group, how many green, we'll say green pencils, okay? We'll say green pencils. How many green pencils are there, my dear children? 15. We had 15, isn't it? Okay, so we will write 15 and they have, see, they have circled some a part of it. Okay, they have circled, they have squared a part of it. So we'll see how many pencils are there inside this square. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Now see, we have 15 pencils. Out of these 15 pencils, 6 are broken. You know, you can't use it. So they are going to throw it. They are going to take a count of it. So they represent it in a fraction. Parts of a group. Okay? Parts of a group. See? From a group set of things. From a set of things, they are taking a part. Okay? Right. Now did you all understand this? Did you? Okay, now let's take another example for this if this is not clear. Okay, so let's take our class. Okay, our class, we have, let's say 22 children. Okay, I have 22 children under my class. So, let's say 22. Okay, let's take another color. Let's take 22. So, I want to count the number of girls I have in that class. In my class, I want to now count how many girls are there. So, we'll say we counted, and then I got 15 girls. How many girls? 15. So, out of 25 children, I have 15 girls in my class. That is a fraction. That is a part of a group. Understand? Right. So, let's move on to the other slide. Now, when writing a fraction, there are basically two parts. Now, you have seen it in my earlier slides. You must be wondering how to call them, isn't it? So, the main parts are the numerator. Tell with me. Okay, numerator. I want everybody to pronounce it in the correct way. Numerator. And then the second part, denominator. Tell with me. Denominator. Now what's the numerator? See, this is a fraction. See, this is a fraction. This upper part is the numerator. Can you see? Upper part is the numerator and here comes the denominator. Tell with me, denominator. Here, down we show the denominator and the number of parts we show as the numerator. Then what is this? This is the fraction bar. Can call like that. Okay, this is the fraction bar. This is the numerator and this is the denominator. These are the parts of a fraction. Okay, that's very easy. You only have to remember that. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the numerator? I told you earlier, numerator is on the top, Pute. Now, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 parts. From that 4 parts, one side is shaded. Okay. So, that shaded side is the numerator. That shaded side is the numerator. Okay. And the rest of the parts come for, now see, the whole, in this whole, how many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the denominator. That's the denominator. And the shaded part, the selected part comes as the numerator. Understand? That is what I have explained here. Okay? See, the numerator is on the top. See, it's on the top and it tells how many pieces you have from the whole. See, I have 4 pieces. The 4 pieces comes here as the denominator, and then the shaded part, okay, the selected part comes as the numerator. Is that clear? Right. Then let's go to the other one. Right. Now, my dear children, you must be wondering how to call it. You know, how to say it. No? Now we know how to write a fraction. Now we know what is a fraction, and now you must be wondering how to say it. Now let's see. How do you say it? Now see, this is a fraction. 3 parts are there, isn't it? And then out of 3 parts, how many parts are colored? Tell me. 2 parts are colored. So how do you say it? Can you read it with me? We say 2/3. See, the first number, numerator comes first at the first place, and then we say 2/3. That's how you say it. Let's go to the other one. Now, how many parts are there? See, there are 4 parts. Now, from 4 parts, how many parts are colored? Count 1, 2, 3. So, 3 parts are colored from 4. So, how do you say it? 3/4. Tell with me, repeat with me. 3/4. Right. Now, in this, out of 6, 5 parts are colored. So, how do you say it? 5/6. It's not 6, it's 6. Right. Now, see in this again. 4 parts are there, 2 are colored. So we say 2/4. What is it? 2/4. Right. Now the last one, 8 parts are there, and then 3 have been colored. So we say 3/8. Now do you know how to say it? Right. See, 2/3, 3/4, 5/6, 2/4, 3/8. So it differs according to the fraction. Understand? Right. So now the type of fractions. Now you know how to shade according to a fraction. No? Now you know how to say a fraction. Now we are going to learn. Now we are going to this one. We are going to learn the type of fractions. Okay? Right. Now the first one is proper fractions. What are those? Proper fractions. So, see the definition I have given here. A proper fraction is the one where the numerator is less than the denominator. Now look at this. Now show me the numerator and the denominator. I taught you earlier, isn't it? See, the numerator comes on top of the denominator. Numerator is on the top, denominator is on the, below the numerator. So, proper fractions are the ones where the numerator is less than the denominator. See, 1 is lesser than 2. So, that's why we say the numerator is less than the denominator. Understand? And then note that a proper fraction is always less than 1. Okay, so now see, this is also, they are explaining the numerator. Number 13 is given here as the numerator, and what is the denominator? 21. So 13, what is it? 13 is less than 21, so it is a proper fraction. Now tell me, in proper fractions the numerator is always lesser than the denominator. Understand? Now that is the first type that we have studied. Now let's go to the second type. What is the second type? Read with me. Improper fractions. Earlier we studied what? Proper fraction where the numerator is lesser than the denominator. Second one, improper fraction. Say with me. Improper fractions. So in this case, Pute, the numerator is greater than the denominator. The numerator is greater than the denominator. Now in the proper fractions what happened? Numerator is less than the denominator, but in improper fractions it's the other side of it. The numerator is greater than the denominator. See, number 3 is given here as the numerator, number 2 is the denominator. So, number 3 is greater than number 2. So, it is an improper fraction, right? Now, number 3. Okay, number 3, mixed fractions. Okay, mixed fractions. What is a mixed fraction? Which means a whole number and a fractional part is also there. Which means a whole number is there and also a fractional part is also coming with the whole number. Okay, see 1.5. See, 1 is the whole number and then half, a part. A fractional part is also coming, which we say it is a mixed fraction. Okay, right. Now, the fourth, no, those are the types. Okay, those are the main 3 types. Okay, so tell me the types again. Proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed fractions. Right. Now, this is a new thing that we are going to study. Okay, now grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, you all have to grow, you all are in different grades now when it comes to primary, isn't it? So, equivalent fractions, maybe grade 1 children doesn't have it, but grade 2 and 3, they have a little bit of this. So, I will explain for those children. Okay, so equivalent fractions are defined as fractions that may have different numerators and denominators. See, now see, they have different numerators and denominators, but they represent the same value. They represent the same value. For example, 9 12s and 6 8s are equivalent, which means equal. See, now look at this. I want everybody to look at this picture. Just because I explain, some children will not understand. Okay, so look at this picture. Right, now see, this is a circle. No, just simply think, you know, don't always confuse yourself. Just look at the picture and learn. I always tend to give a definition, but don't take it so much into your head, then, you know, don't confuse yourself. Look at the picture and learn. Look at the basics and learn. See, there is a circle. Now we divide the circle into 2. Okay, it's a half. Now we say, now look at these children. Okay, the fraction we take like this. Okay, we write the fraction like this. Okay, and then this is another fraction, 2/4. Now these have different numerators and different denominators, isn't it? But they are equal. How do you say they are equal? That's what you call equivalent fractions. These two are equal to one another. But you must be wondering why, because their numbers are different, isn't it? So that is what I am going to explain you. See, now look at the picture and learn. See, we have 2 circles here. Very simple. We have 2 circles here. In this putte, it's half. So we have divided into 2 equal parts now, isn't it? And they have taken out 1. So it's half means like this. Just see the size, okay? Just see the size of the side that I am coloring, okay? The side of the now this is the circle. No, you have to see the size that I am coloring. Now this is a half size, isn't it? From the whole number, this is a half. And exactly this side I have colored. So, this is another circle, but it is divided into 4 parts and I am coloring 2 parts out of it. Can you tell me now what is the common thing here? Can you tell me the common thing here? Even though the parts are different, the number of parts are different, I have colored the same side with the same size, isn't it? The number of parts are different, that's the only thing, but they are equal to one another. So, the simple theory, very easy to understand, learn with the basic pictures. I have colored from this hole one side, one size. See, 1/2 is also equal to 2/4. See, I have colored the same side. It's equal in the size, from the size also it is equal. That's what you call finding equivalent fractions. Understand? So, even though their numerators, their denominators are different, they differ from each other, but the value remains the same. Understand? Right. So, let's go to the other one now. Now you know about equivalent fractions also. Now this decimals. Right. Now we are going to learn about decimals. Okay, this is a bit hard, but don't worry, don't confuse yourself. For grade 1 and 2 it is not there, but for grade 3 it's there. So let's learn about it, the basics only. Okay, let's learn the basics. Okay, so now this is a fraction. You know already this is a fraction, 3/10. How do you convert it into a decimal? See, Pute, very easy. You have to, what you have to do, you have to take the numerator. Okay, you have to take the numerator and divide it from this denominator. See, 3 divided by 10. So we get the answer as 0.3. Okay, when you divide the numerator by the denominator, we get this answer. 0.3. So this is another example I have given. This is how to convert a fraction into a decimal. Okay, so 47 is the numerator, 100 is the denominator. How do you convert it? How do you convert it? Tell me. 47 divided by 100. Okay, 47 divided by 100, we get 0.47. We don't say 0.47 because we have a decimal here. We say 0.47. Okay, here 0.3. Okay, so when decimal points are used in numbers, the number to the right of the decimal point is always a type of a fraction. See, the number to the right side of the decimal point, this is the right side. Okay, so this is the decimal. The number to the right side of the decimal point is always a fraction. That's what we have put here. So out of 100 parts, 47 no. So 47 is a fraction. So that's what they have described. So how do you convert a fraction into a decimal? You divide the numerator by the denominator. Right. That is the basic. Okay. Just think. Don't confuse yourself. That is also very easy. Right. Now you know how. Now you know what is a fraction. You know the types. Okay. You know the types. Now we are going to compare and order. You are going to compare. Now see, it is also very easy. Now if I say 4 and 5, compare these two numbers and tell me what is the greater value in here. I know my children are very clever, so they will quickly answer me number 5 is greater. So the crocodile's mouth turns out to this side. So now in normal numbers, when we are comparing, we use this theory. Same as that, in fractions also, we can compare. So, let's see, okay. My God, now what is this? Okay, now the alligator is trying to eat the whole pizza because you have not eaten it earlier. So he's trying to eat the whole pizza. See, the alligator always eats the bigger side. That is a tip for you all to remember. See, he always eats the bigger side. See? And these are the symbols that we use. These are the symbols that we use. See? You can understand, right? This is now see 8 over 8. This is a whole number because he is going to eat all. So, which means it's 1. Okay? And then here it's a fraction. From 8 pieces, he is going to eat 5. So, what is bigger? What is the bigger number? It's this one. because he is going to eat all the pieces. In this, he have eaten only 1, 2, 3. So, this one is greater than this one. Okay, that's how we compare. Okay, right. So, let's go to the other one. Okay, now you know how to compare also. So, when comparing fractions, if both your denominators are same. Now, here we face a problem here. Now, see, we are going to learn about that. Okay, if both your denominators are same. Now, see, your denominators here, both are 4. So, now in that case, you just have to compare the numerators. We don't have to worry about the denominators because they are same. Okay? So, just think about the up numbers. Which is the greater one? Number 1 or number 3? Number 3. So, that's why the alligator is going to eat this one, because he always tend to eat the bigger number. So, 3/4 is greater than 1/4. That's how you say it. That's how you compare. Alligator eats the greater numerator, I told you. Okay? And here, if both your numerators are same. Now here, our denominators were same. So, we compared the larger numerator. In this one, the numerators are same, but the denominators are different. So, in that, you have to take the lesser denominator. Okay? So, in this one, always think about the lesser denominator. Okay? Now, if the numerators are same, compare the denominators. The lesser the denominator, the fraction becomes bigger. Okay? Understand? Lesser the denominator, the fraction becomes bigger. In this case, what? We compared the numerators, and you know basically number 3 is greater than number 1. So, the alligator eats this side, the bigger side. In this one, the denominators are different, but the numerators remain the same. In this case, the lesser the denominator, the greater the fraction. So, he is going to eat this one. See, I have mentioned here, the alligator eats the small denominator. In this one, what is he eating? He is eating the larger numerator. In this one, what is he eating? He is eating the smaller denominator. Are we clear on that? Right. Now, earlier what we did? We compared. Now, we are going to order. We are going to order the fractions from a bigger number to a lesser number, or from a lesser number to a bigger number. So, now usually you know how to do this with the normal numbers. Now, if I give 5, 1 and 9, and I am asking you to arrange. I am asking you to arrange this from lesser number to a greater number. How do you do it? Okay, you know number 1 is the smallest, and then what's the other one? Number 5. Number 5 is the other one, and then the greater number becomes number 9. So, this is how you arrange it. But in a fraction, now you are confused because have two numbers called the numerator and the denominator, isn't it? So, you are a little confused. I am going to help you with that. So, order the fractions from greatest to the least, which means from the bigger number to the smaller number. Now, Pute, now see, the denominators are same no here. So, in that case, you know, you have to think about the numerator only. Okay? So, in this, tell me what is the first one. Now, from greatest to least, so what is the greatest? I always told you, if the denominators are the same, you have to think about the numerator. Okay? You have to think about the numerator. So, now what is the greatest numerator here? It's number 5. So, 5, 6 is the greatest one. And then, okay, we have done this. Okay? Now, 3 numbers are remaining. How many numbers? 3. From these 3, now you only have to think about the numerator. Don't forget that. Otherwise, you will get confused and you will go wrong somewhere. So, forget about these. Think about the numerators as normal, regular numbers. 5 is over. You have 3 more. What? You have 3 more numbers. Tell me what is the other greatest? Okay, number 4. So here I have put number 4. Okay, and then now this one is also finished. How many remaining? 2. So from these two, what is the greater? Number 3. See, I have put number 3. And then the balance comes here. That's how you arrange. Very easy. So if the denominators are same, think about the numerator and arrange it. Okay? Very easy. Okay, let's go to the other one. Let's go to the other one. Okay, now what is this? Now earlier we learned about equivalent fractions, isn't it? So now here the numerator and the denominator, they are not equal, they are not same. See, here now you have to compare these two fractions. Is the denominator and the numerator the same? No, they are not same, they are different. So we have to find the equivalent fractions, and then we have to compare, and then we have to see. Okay, so the easiest thing, okay, when you are comparing this, what you have to do, you have to multiply. See, now 3/4, 5/9. Okay, so you compare it, you have to multiply it. 3/9, okay, 3/9 and 4/5. 3 into 9, how much? Tell me, 3 into 9, how much? Soon do your calculations and tell me. It's 27. 3 into 9 is 27. So here is the answer. Okay, here is the answer, 27. 27. Then we multiply 4 into 5. This is what you call the butterfly theory. See, crossing here, 3 into 9 is 27, 4 into 5 is 20. Now we have got two numbers. Now tell me, what is the greater number here, 27 or 20? Obviously 27 is the greater number. So we say this 3/4 is greater than 5/9. Do you understand? See, we have multiplied 3 into 9 and we have got 27, 4 into 5 and we have got 20. We have got two numbers now. We have got two numbers. From these two numbers, what is the greater? So this 27 is greater, so we say this one is greater than this one. Understand? Now see, this is the way. Now if you are not so clear from this side, now look at this side. Two fractions, now I have given two fractions. See? Now fraction number 1, fraction number 2. See? Now in this, how do you multiply? This is the first step. 1 into 6. This is the method. 1 into 6. Step 1. Step 3. The other side. 3 into 2. Okay? Step 4. Compare. Now see, finding equivalent fractions. This is how you find equivalent fractions. 16 is equal to 6. So we can say these two fractions are equal to each other even though their numbers are different. This is how you find equivalent fractions. See, two fractions are given. You don't know whether they are equal or not, whether they are greater or whether they are lesser, you don't know. So you have to find equivalent fractions. Step number 1, numerator to the denominator. Step number 2, again numerator to the denominator. You get two answers, then you compare. Understand? Right. Let's go to the other one. Now, have you all understand what I said? I hope everybody understood, but let's do a quick revision for those who didn't understand. Okay, a quick one. So when comparing fractions, you know the alligator is the bigger fraction. Okay, so when the numerator is the same but the denominators are different, the smaller the denominator is, the greater the fraction. Rule number 1. Okay? Okay, now here when you have the same denominator but different numerators, you compare the numerators. The larger the numerator, the greater the fraction. Rule number 2. Okay? Now here, the equivalent method. If the numerator is if the numerator and the denominator, they are different from one another, this is how you do it. See, I teach you. Can you remember? Right. So let's do a quick quiz. Okay. Now I know you all have understood everything what I teached you, isn't it? Right. So let's do it now. Right. The first one is given for us. Okay, we don't have to do the first one. Teacher will do this one. Now, how many parts are there? Now we have to circle the correct one. Okay, right. Now, how many parts are there? 4. So there are 4 parts. And then, how many parts have been shaded? Which means how many parts have been colored? 3. So, this is the fraction. Now you find this fraction from here. It's this one. So you circle it. Okay. Now let's do this one. Okay. Now there are how many pieces? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 pieces. And then out of that, how many have been colored? Out of that, 5 have been colored. So 5, 6. This one you have to do, okay? Teacher teached you all this. Now this one and this one teacher teached you. So Putha, you have to do this, do the last one, okay? Right, now let's go to the other one. Okay, now you have to put these fractions, okay? From smallest to largest, very easy. Now see, the denominators are all same, isn't it? These denominators are all same. So, if the denominators are the same, what is the theory? You have to think about the numerator from smallest to largest. Okay, now think about the numerator. 3 is there, 7, 5, 2. What is the smallest number? 2 8s. 2 8s. Okay, now we have done this. So, you can cross it. From these 3, what is the smallest? Number 3. So, it's 3 8s. We have done this also. So we can cut it. It's easy for you all to analyze the balance what you have. Otherwise you will repeat it again. Okay. So slowly cut it down so you know what is the rest. From these 2, what is the least? What is the smallest number? You know it's 5. So it's 5 8s. What is the balance? 7 8s. Right. Now see, denominators are same. We only compare the numerators. This is how you arrange it from the smaller number to the bigger number. Right. Let's do the other one. Now here, now what is this? Their denominators are different, isn't it? But their numerator is the same. In this case, what do we do? What do we do? I teach you. Lesser the denominator, the fraction becomes bigger. Okay, so we have to arrange this from smallest number to the biggest number. So, to find the smallest number, the denominator should be the larger number, isn't it? So, 3 8s. This is the smallest fraction because it does have the biggest denominator. Okay, and then you cut it. Then what is the other one? What is the other one? 3 6, because from these 2, this number is the larger number, the larger denominator. So 3 6, right? And then what is the other one? The balance, very easy, 3 4ths. Can you understand? Very easy, don't confuse yourself if you can't understand. If you can't understand, what you have to do? What do you have to do? Just watch the video once again. Simple thing. If you can't understand, any slide, what you have to do? Just watch one more time. Okay. So I hope everybody understood, my dear children. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.